Welcome back to Stories Worth Hearing. I'm your host, Jonathan Quick. Today I'm joined by Zuly Matallana, founder and CEO of TIARA Bliss. Born and raised in Colombia, Zuly eventually made her way to Canada before bringing her entrepreneurial journey to the USA. She began by inventing and patenting the TIARA Shower Cap before creating an award-winning natural deodorant brand with a mission to help families make healthier choices. Her products have been featured on Good Morning America, The View, Dragon's Den Canada, and the hit Paramount Plus series Landman. Today we'll talk about resilience, starting over in a new country, building a purpose-driven business, and what it takes to turn a simple idea into a nationally recognized brand. Zuly, welcome to the show.
This will be fun to hear about your story, your company's story, and it really sounds like you're making a splash in the industry. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. God connected us for sure. And I believe that my story is very real and is very important.
That's awesome. So take me back though, before you started the business, you grew up in Colombia. Tell me what that was like. A lot of our listeners are here in the US, and growing up in a different country is probably, just a different experience than most people are used to. So tell me what it was like growing up in Colombia.
Well, I have so many stories to tell you. Let me check. I don't know if I have a picture over here, but I love the United States, first of all. I have to say, now that we're celebrating 4th of July, congratulations. You have a wonderful country, and the families in the little towns. I grew up, I grew up in Colombia. So basically between Colombia and Ecuador, my father was a mechanical engineer, and he was doing projects in both countries. And, I was always curious about life, and the fact that he helped me travel the world and see nature. In Ecuador, there is the Cotopaxi. So I grew up seeing the Cotopaxi every morning in Quito. I feel that he gave me that sense of international. I feel the words very little because since I was little, I was traveling a lot. In Colombia, so I grew up, I'm a journalist. So I studied in Ecuador, part of my education, and then I moved to Ecuador because my parents wanted me to do university in Colombia. So I finished my high school in a school in Colombia. And then I started my career. During that time, I lost my aunt Ruth to breast cancer. And that was a very, very challenging time of my year because in my family we have 12 doctors. So the path for me was to become a doctor. I wanted to become a doctor. My grandpa was a doctor. Why not? I like to serve the community. But after my aunt died, I lost the passion to the career without knowing that God had a bigger mission for me. So I went to a psychologist and, we worked on that. And I finally decided to go into journalism. Although I started to do also architecture because I love design. I do the design for my products. Everything that I do is all connected. So yeah, so I went into journalism and I started journalism. I focus always in the, although I'm I love to do research. I did radio shows and I went on TV. I actually went into several TV shows in Colombia. But the main passion for me was business development. I always had that in me. So I love that. I started working for Diners Club in Colombia. I then got the time when it was right after my graduation. I was having an issue with my body, like the prolactin levels of my body were really high and my body was not working properly, let's say. So I had to go into surgery. And I had so it was a brain surgery. And
Wow.
during that brain surgery, right after I finished my career, I almost died.
Dang.
I almost died. I lost that, so I was like, oh my God, but during that time when I was at the hospital, I had a higher connection with a higher level. And that helped me understand that I was protected. And there were so many things happening during that situation, right? Like you're in the middle of, surviving. You understand how important is life. And you understand that life is really short. And I said it in another podcast. I felt like a little particle of sand, like we're nothing. right? Like when you're dying, just you go. That's it. It's gone. So that gave me the perspective of in life. After I finished that chapter, it was a very difficult chapter. I have to say, I lost the ability to walk and to run. So I had to recover. And after I recovered that, I started to travel. And I went to the US. I went to Oswego, upstate New York, with an American. That's where I learned how to speak English properly. That family gave me so much love. And I have my American family. So I have my American family and they're amazing. They gave me so many gifts in Christmas. I never got so many gifts in my life. In Christmas, like they were so giving and they were not rich. They were a normal family, which actually never charged me to be there. They charged the program charged my family, but they never charged. So givers, and I learned the power of, giving and I truly recovered at that time. So I was coming back. I was starting a new life after recovering from my brain surgery. I was able to walk and run again. So I had a new sense of power, right? Like the power of having a life. I worked for the PR department at the Oswego University.
Nice.
I went there and I said, listen, I need to do something. I'm learning English, but I also want to work here because I'm a journalist. So I worked with them. And it was wonderful. I work also for Oswego County Business, which is a magazine there. And they gave me the opportunity, right? Like it's only knocking the doors. And I learned that by knocking the doors, you are able to create change. And when you take action, you can actually build your life. Not only create change, but also do the things that you dream. And that's my message to the youth. You can do anything if you put it yourself. So I put myself there. I did it. Then I went back to Colombia and, I did other programs. I went to Puerto Rico and I want Bad Bunny. If Bad Bunny is listening to this podcast today, but I went to Puerto Rico and I did the campaign with a guy from Argentina called Yo Limpio Puerto Rico. And during that campaign, I learned the importance of sustainability, of recycling. So those are, the basics of my product. So
Nice.
I want you to remember this, sustainability, empowerment, all these beautiful things that I was collecting as I was growing. And then I went back to Colombia. I got a job in a non-profit organization, but the non-profit works with the companies. It's called Subsidio. So there are these companies who offer services to the poor people.
Nice.
So I was serving my community. I was working as a director of one of the centers, and I was teaching kids how to learn English, women how to cut their family's hair, which is very important. It's saving them money. I was bringing art to the center as well. So kids were able to see different artists because I love art. And I believe art comes from God as well. And I was very successful in the center. So successful as, Colombia is facing a lot of political challenges. Right now, we're just changing president, by the way. So, I was targeted of kidnapping in Colombia. I was told, the security came to my office. They told me, and in reality, my bosses are not going to do anything for me. Like nobody can do anything for me. Like you're shining, and then what do I do? So I played for a while. I was driving different routes, and I was coming different ways. But in the end, my ex-husband one day disappeared. At that time, we were girlfriend and boyfriend, and he disappeared. And I freaked out. I said they kidnapped him. And I said, enough. So I went to the Canadian embassy where I knew somebody from my previous job at Diners. And he told me, you should get married and move to Canada. So we got married, we applied. And but before that,
so did you know anybody in Canada, or you just moved there not knowing anybody?
Well, my cousin, actually, that was my dream. My dream was to move to Canada. I actually went to France to learn French, but my cousin came first to Canada. So she was able to, she was not sure that, it's difficult. Like to be an immigrant in Canada is really difficult because you don't know anybody. And even my cousin, she didn't know people. She was working in the little jobs and stuff. So it was very challenging for a person who already had a career to drop everything and to come to another country. But I had to do it. But before that, when I was waiting in Colombia, I worked for a flower company. I was selling flowers from Colombia. So because I was serving that community, they hired me because they knew I was going to be kidnapped. So they said, okay, come and work with us while we wait for your papers. So those are the flowers of my company.
Oh, that's
You see?
cool.
And
Yeah.
flowers teach you the importance of the present moment. Flowers last very, very few days. So when you actually understand the importance of life and what I believe God bring us flowers to bring us into the present moment, right? Like when you see a flower, it is something beautiful, but it's also dying. So we need to know that we're here for a very short period of time, and that's why we should do better for us. It's
So
social responsibility.
you're in Canada, when did you come up with the idea to possibly start a company? Because, you're in Canada, your cousin, and that's about it. It's got to be pretty daunting. What was the process like for you to think it through starting your own company?
Well, moving to another country is very courageous. And I feel that, even though there are a lot of tools in Canada for immigrants, it was very challenging. It was very challenging. Starting from, when you come from another country, even the phone number, I'm saying this. So in Canada, we say 416. When I came from Colombia, it was like 416, right? Like, so you have to change your mentality completely in order to be able to be part of the community. So that was the process. It took a while. So I took a job. I call it Esprida University. I got a job in a software company. I was a salesperson. Even though I was not speaking proper English, I was getting businesses. Like, everybody was
Nice.
surprised about my talent. So I was like, okay, I was getting the United States Postal into, the main rooms, and we were closing business with this company. But then I moved to Scotiabank, which is a bank from Canada that was doing business internationally. So I was able to deal with teams in different countries. And then I worked with PricewaterhouseCoopers. And when I worked at Pricewaterhouse and experienced a situation that was very, very different, it's not about your talent. Sometimes it's about, uh, connections and situations that you cannot handle. And it affected me deeply because I really had a great boss. I really had a great team, but I saw that I was not able to shine because there were other people around who sometimes step and don't allow you to shine. And 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 this is where integrity comes to life. You have to be integral. Like what I did then is not fighting them. For me, it was more starting a new chapter in my life and not giving up my talents, right? Because you have to believe in yourself. And you know how powerful you are. You know that you have power in you. Because I believe we're all powerful, but it's all about how you handle this. So I'm also, I'm talking about integrity. So I left that job and I started working on my first kind of entrepreneurship project, which is Mavico, which is a construction company. And that's how I connected with Bob Schrober because he works in roofing business and I sell
Nice.
some of the products that he uses. So I'm kind of looking for mentorship with him. But like I always had this idea in mind because of course I lost my grandma and my aunt to breast cancer. I was like, okay, I'm going to give myself some time. I'm going to learn how to do this with a different product. So I started with my sustainable shower cap.
Nice.
So I did that while I was working in the other company. So that other company was supporting this company and so far to this day. But, I'll talk about it later. So I started with my sustainable shower caps and I patented my idea. So I'm one of now it's 10% of women who have a patent in the world.
That's
So
pretty,
I'm one of those.
you got to be proud of that.
I'm very proud. And I believe that also that inspires other women to do the same. It's like, I believe that sometimes I feel that women feel that they're the only one that should have the power and they don't allow other women to come into the game. While men are very, very open to help each other, right? Like, so I'm changing that. I think we can help each other. I don't have a lot of time, but my message helps to elevate women and elevate that friendship and partnerships that we should be having in order to have a better evolution, right? I'm part of a group called Entreprenista, where I feel I got a lot of support, but I will be talking about that later. So this is
So
the
tell me
shower.
about the shower cap and how you developed it, because most people wouldn't think that a shower cap needs a patent, but your shower cap is like a shower cap on steroids. So tell me about how you developed it.
So guess what? I have been saving 20 million disposable shower caps into going to landfills. Can you believe it? 20 million to this day. I have sold
That's cool.
50,000 shower caps. So these shower caps last, I'm saying, up to 7 to 10 years. They're machine washable, reversible, machine dryable. They don't mark your forehead, so they don't have any elastic here. So my shower caps are simply the best. I have over 1,000 happy reviews on Amazon.
Nice.
And I created this product with love, right? Like that's the main point, creating products with love. So these shower caps are extremely sustainable and are reducing the waste of single-use plastic into landfills or into the water, where this plastic is killing the green turtles because they eat this plastic. So I feel very proud with the mission. The sales of these shower caps are not like tremendous because once one customer uses it, they don't need to buy it again.
Yeah,
so it's not
they don't need to come buy another one for another 10 years.
10 years, or they give it to their family, right? Like they give it to their cousin, to their aunt. But it gets into a point where my company needs to be bigger. But not only that, I wanted to create the deodorants from before. So that gave me the money to start the development of my deodorants. And not only that, I met somebody who trusts me because I went to Good Morning America, right? Like with my shower cap. My shower caps were sold on TV. I was talking on the small business segment at The View during COVID, inviting people to switch. And a lot of people now, I think probably 4,000 families use my shower caps in the States. So they now know my brand. They know TIARA. So with that, I was able to access the place where I developed my natural deodorants. And it took me 3 years to develop. So I started in 2020 during COVID and testings were ongoing. Luckily, the lab didn't close because a lot of labs closed. So yeah, so I was able to create a natural deodorant that is it's winning so many awards and it's extremely powerful and it's sustainable. So I'm going to send you 2 deodorants so you can give it to your audience.
Let's do it. So folks listening in, the first 2 people to send me a DM will send you a stick of deodorant.
Yeah, I want you to try it.
So tell me a little bit about the deodorant itself, because I think most people, or just talk a little bit about what is really bad with deodorant today, because I think a lot of people don't understand or know or care to know, like what they're putting under their armpits is just really bad chemicals. And so talk to me a little bit about the why you did this, because you're probably solving 2 problems. You're helping people be healthier and helping them smell better. But the first one is probably a little more important. So talk to me a little bit about the why.
So the main factor here, my friend, is that, I'm raising the standards in personal care. I care about this mission. This is a huge mission. I mean, the shower caps were my learning process, right? Like, how do I do this? Who do I talk? And still, I keep learning. Like, I will never stop learning. But this is about social responsibility, right? So when you go to a supermarket, you see a lot of deodorants. Most of those deodorants contain endocrine disruptors, potential cancer-causing ingredients, and hormone disruptors. Most of them. They're cheap. They are functional, but they're cheap. Deodorants were invented in the 1800s. You understand that? Like it's many, many years ago. And at that time, everybody were, smelling. And they did. So there was a big problem, smelling. Do you smell?
I smell good.
I stink. And that's the reason why I needed to create something, right? Like I know I lost my grandma and aunt to breast cancer. And I was very careful about all the ingredients that I was using under my armpit, close
Yeah.
to my lymph nodes that
Yep.
actually lead into my breast. So this is a very serious, you know, situation. So I tested lots and lots of deodorants over years, 15 years. And nothing worked. Really, I lost my money. I was like, no. How am I going to stop smelling? It's like self-conscious, right? And I couldn't use the clinical because those are really toxic, right? So
Yeah,
you don't want to use.
those are like double the chemicals in them, basically.
So basically, I just put my hands in God, right? Like I said, okay, we need to create something for a lot of people who need this, right? This is a mission. This is a mission, and I know you're going to help me. Because I had that connection when I had my brain surgery, I know I have been guided. And I just met Jim Cortez, the boyfriend of Jennifer Aniston. I met him in New York. And he's a great example that your challenges become your superpower. So I was having a challenge and it became my superpower because I believe that what I'm saying comes from my heart. And a lot of families don't need to know what they're using, right? Like you just use something because you are from the 1800s, the people from the 1800s who got something that was helping them to stop smelling. They never ask questions. Nobody asks questions.
Yeah.
What was in that doesn't matter. Now is the time for us to ask questions and to ask questions also to the retailers who are selling toxic products. So my mission is not only selling a better deodorant, but communicate that to the retailers. So I have been sending letters to Wegmans, I have been sending letters to Costco, and I'm in contact with all of these companies who deserve, who have a social responsibility with the customers who visit their stores. So this is not only, me selling a better deodorant. The mission is very serious and very compelling because toxic deodorants contain a lot of ingredients. Like I have a list of ingredients here that I actually prepared for you. So we can
Yes.
read, right? Like
It's like aluminum and all that bad stuff, right?
most of I don't know if you have seen the salt sticks. They contain potassium. That's a form of aluminum. And they took it to be natural. And a lot of people use those salt sticks that are super cheap, like they're $3, but they're putting every day under their lip gloss. And the thing is, it takes time. It's with time. This is not like overnight that you're going to be sick. It's just, it takes time. So why should we not have, quality deodorants on shelves?
So what's the reception been like? What are customers telling you? What are your friends telling you? My guess is they love it, but talk to me a little bit about, okay, you launched this product. It's a true all natural deodorant with no chemicals of the bad stuff. What have people been telling you about it?
They're what can I say? For me, is being very rewarding because when I speak to women, they thank me. Some women are really skeptical about this, which is incredible because it's a woman talking to them. This deodorant was tested by a woman for women. And it works for men, by the way. So, it works for men 100%. I'm taking guys out of Gillette, toxic, like all these ingredients that are extremely toxic, like DHT, cyclopentasylone. Ingredients that I cannot even pronounce, my friend. So, like the discovery here is that people are thankful and that I'm inspiring them to go and find better ingredients in deodorants. And when they find Tiara, they can trust in what I'm saying. I don't have, like to be honest, I have been going through the most difficult time of my life. I'm a single mom. I'm taking care of my mom and I keep going because I know that what I'm doing is of value for families, for people, I feel this excitement. My brother, my cousin, everybody gets, like they cheer me up. But it's not easy. It's not, and that's why I'm trying to connect with investors that have good heart, because this is a winner. My brand is a winner. I definitely see how well it's sold, but it's a lot of investment while you grow, right? Like, so it's not that I'm making millions because, getting into shelves costs money.
Yeah.
Traveling to all these shows costs money. Meeting the right people costs money. So I'm investing and I'm not stopping. because I believe in what I'm doing. So right now I hired a CFO who really told me, Zuly, you have done so much with so little. Like I'm doing like what Procter and Gamble is doing or Unilever with my deal. Like it's incredible, right? Like one person show, as you said, you're one person show, but what I'm doing is amazing. It's incredible. I mean, more than 170 stores across America.
Nice.
And my deodorants were featured. Guess where? Do you watch Landman?
Landman. Yep, I saw that. It's one of my favorite TV shows.
Well, my deodorants were featured in Landman.
Yeah. How did that come about? Did you know it was going to happen before the episode came out?
My
So
deodorants
somebody on the TV set must have really liked your product or something like that.
Exactly, because people love it, right? Like once they try it, they love it. So I'm creating a movement of educated families who are not buying anymore from these companies who are not really putting the heart on it. Like why Unilever or Procter & Gamble didn't do that before? By the way, these products contain oxokerite until few months, like after they just changed the formula because I have been talking about this. These products contain oxokerite, and most of the natural deodorants in the States contain oxokerite. That's very dangerous. This product has been sold, like native, has been sold for over 10 years. And kids have been using this product. This is dangerous. And they never change the ingredients until I start talking. And because, like I have this power I'm not afraid of telling this. To this day, oxokerite is in the deodorants in Canada. That's dangerous. And I think they didn't do a recall. They allow families to buy everything until they ran
and then
out of
they
that.
changed it.
Then they're just sending the new one. Whoever has the oxokerite in their house, throw it away. No, I mean, don't trust these things. Why are they doing this? And I'm actually looking for, like I don't know if I can do something, but something should be done because there is social responsibility. These companies have a serious social responsibility. Yes, we're talking about food. Everybody talks about food, but the body can process food and get rid of stuff. When you apply deodorant, it goes straight into your lymph nodes and it goes into your blood and starts
So
mixing.
tell me a little bit about, you mentioned you're potentially looking for investors. Talk to me a little bit about what that means. And there might be some folks listening in that want to find out more information. So how do they get in touch with you?
Well, I'm super excited. Yes, I'm looking for investors, but it has to be the right investor as well. I don't want to experience any stress. I believe in my journey. I'm going to be launching new products. So I have a line of products that I'm going to be launching. And my mission is to create a company just as powerful as Procter & Gamble, but bringing the right products into shelves. So, if you want to get in touch with me, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, on Instagram, Zuly Matallana, my website, www.tiaranatural.com. More products coming, the line for men coming, the line for kids coming, because a lot of and please, if you're watching this podcast, please check if the deodorant of your kids contain oxokerite. Most of the deodorants in the state contain oxokerite. The fact that we're talking today and that your podcast is one of the 8 top podcasts in the States only tells me that God moved your heart and connected with me.
Yeah, Bob, or a guy named Bob did. Bob was, I just recently met Bob, but man, that guy is inspiring. He's really cool and he's doing a lot of good out
Thank
there.
you, Bob.
And
I didn't know.
That's how
I
our
wrote
paths
him.
connected.
I wrote him. Yes, I saw, I saw his episode and then I contacted you. I just, I like you. So he mentioned me. Oh my God, that's a blessing. That's a truly, like, thank you, Bob. I mean, he has been, and it shows how easy it is to help. It shows as simple as talking, as simple as connecting one to another, how easy it is to connect and how easy it is to help.
Yeah. Well,
in a world,
we're almost out of time. Tell me, first, folks, I'm going to put the link in the podcast description for the website. I want to encourage everybody to go buy some deodorant, buy a shower cap. if you're rich and not drama and you want to be an investor, go contact her. But any last minute thoughts here before we head off? Want to give you the floor and, just have any last minute thoughts for us?
Yes. My mission is to inspire you guys, and everybody can do it. In reality, like I feel very empowered to inspire because it's simple. It's simple to create change. It's simple to take action. So if you have any dreams in your heart and you're willing to do something for others, just do it because it's going to pay off. I mean, it really does. It's paying off. I'm in contact with so many great people, and I'm changing my story because I'm believing in what I'm doing. I'm meeting people like you, like Bob, along the way. So just do it.
Nice. Well, Zuly, I appreciate you coming on the show. You're welcome back anytime. Folks, go check out the products, the links in the podcast description. Go buy as many as you can. And man, it was really fun hearing your story.
We're sold out. Coming back in September.
Yeah, come back. It's a good problem to have. Good problem to have. But we wish you nothing but success, and you're welcome back anytime. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.